যে সব স্থানে করিল ভ্রমণ রঙ্গে, সে সব স্থান হেরিব আমি প্রণয় ভকত সঙ্গে। সে সব স্থান হেরিব আমি।
Welcome to the second day of Parikrama.
Today we'll be going to the Godrumadvipa.
Today we will be going to the Godrumadvipa.
This is the island of chanting.
This is the island of chanting.
And so we've seen Antardvip as part of Srimantadvip.
So we saw Antardvip as part of Srimantadvip.
And then now we're going to see Suvarna Vihar,
And now we are going and we'll see Suvarna Vihar,
Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati
where
Thakur.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
He discovered this place,
where he discovered this place,
which the Suvarna Sena king
which the Suvarna Sena king,
was living.
where the Suvarna Sena king was living.
Now there's Godrumadvipa,
Now there is a Gaudiya there.
and we'll walk to Harihara ksetra
Then we'll walk to Harihara ksetra
and see the holy place
and see the holy place
where Hari and Hara, Krishna and Vishnu and Srila
where Hari and Hara, Vishnu and Shiva
are worshipped together.
are worshipped together.
We cross the Alaknanda river,
Then we cross the Alakananda river,
go to the daha.
and then we go to the special Gaura, daha.
There the Lord, He manifested His pastime,
There the Lord manifested his pastimes,
where a crocodile got liberated
where a crocodile got liberated
and became a small heavenly boy.
and became a small heavenly body.
And then we're going to the Amghat.
Then we are going to Amghat.
So then we go to the house of Bhakti Thakur.
Then we go to the house of Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
We see his temple.
We see his temple.
We see the Bhajan Kutir.
We see the Bhajan Kutir. Gaur Kishore.
Gaura
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj.
His personal secretary, Anantadev.
His personal secretary Anantadev.
And then we, after seeing the house of Bhakti Thakur,
Then after seeing the house of Bhakti Vinod Thakur,
we go to Surabhi Kunj,
we go to Surabhi Kunj,
which is nearby,
which is nearby.
and there's Surabhi cow eternally resides.
There Surabhi cow eternally reside.
Narasimha Pally,
Go to Narasimha Pally,
Devapalli.
Devapalli.
There, Lord Narasimha became very accessible.
There Lord Narasimha Dev became very accessible.
The Dhiras and their wives came and served the Lord.
And Devas and their wives came and served the Lord.
And that place is also known as Devapalli.
So that place is also known as Devapalli.
So this is a very ecstatic island.
So this is a very ecstatic island.
Sometimes we take 2 days to visit,
Sometimes we take 2 days to visit,
but you'll be visiting in 1 day.
but you will be visiting in 1 day.
Harihara.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, welcome to Sri Mayapur. Today we're going to the sacred island of Sri Godrumadvipa. Come along with us. Jai, Sri Navadvipa Mandala Parikrama ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
and accompanying us will be His Grace Jananivas Prabhu. Jananivas Prabhu, he is a Dham Bhashi. He's been residing here in Navadvipa Dham, Mayapur for almost 50 years. And he's perfected his life, fulfilling the order of Srila Prabhupada to reside in Mayapur and worship Sri Sri Radha Madhav Ashtashaki Sriman Mahaprabhu Narasingha Dev. And in this way, Prabhupada has blessed Jananivas Prabhu. He's received the full mercy of Srila Prabhupada by fulfilling his order and given his life to that, and also residing for so many decades in Navadvipa Dham. He's become a perfected soul, and we're very fortunate to be able to have Jananivas Prabhu's association as we tour through Godrumadvipa. Thank you, Jananivas Prabhu. We've come to Suvarna Vihar temple, a temple which was established by Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Sachimata was constantly thinking about a suitable wife for Gaura. And every day she would see Vishnu Priya on the bank of the Ganga. Vishnu Priya would take bath 3 times a day. And Sachimata would bless her, and she was thinking that she would be an ideal wife for my son. So she arranged with Kashishar, the matchmaker, and a proposal was sent to Sri Sanatan Mishra. And of course they were elated to hear the prospect of marrying their daughter Vishnupriya to Sachinandan. When the students of Mahaprabhu heard about his marriage, they were all elated, and one rich man, Buddhimanta Khan, he offered to cover the expense of the entire marriage. The other devotees, they complained, well, if you cover all the expenses, what will we do? Buddhimanta Khan replied that this will certainly be a grand marriage ceremony, not like any humble Brahmin's marriage. People of Navadvipa will think that a great prince is being married. The Adivas ceremony of Sachinandan's marriage to Vishnupriya was very grand and opulent. And all of the noble and learned Brahmins of Navadvipa were invited. And they were giving presents. Mahaprabhu was arranging for gifts for all the Brahmins. And some of the greedy Brahmins, because no one knew who was who, some of the greedy Brahmins were going to the back of the line again and again and taking the gifts several times. So seeing this, Sachinandan declared, everyone should be given the gifts 3 times. And in this way, the greedy Brahmins felt a little embarrassed. The next day, after taking bath in the Ganga, Mahaprabhu, he went on a procession. And Buddhimanta Khan arranged a beautiful palanquin for Mahaprabhu as he was taken on procession. After completing all of the marriage ceremonies, his estate workers to go along in front of that palanquin. And there were musicians and there were dancers, and the people of Navadvipa were astounded to see the beautiful form of Sachinandan on that palanquin. When they were returning after the marriage with Vishnupriya, and the residents of Navadvipa were seeing the divine couple on that palanquin, they were commenting, oh, they must be Gold and Parvati. Others were commenting, no, they must be Sita and Ram. And others were commenting, no, they must be Lakshmi and Narayan. And in this way, Buddhimanta Khan, he sponsored the marriage ceremony of Sachinandan, Gaudhari. After the marriage, Sachinandan was so happy with Buddhimanta Khan that he embraced him and bestowed upon him love of Godhead. Hare Krishna. We hear the story that Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he saw that property and he ordered his disciples to acquire that property, and at that time it was underdeveloped and jungle.
Yeah, that was they were on Parikram. Bhakti Siddhanta was making a Parikram with his disciples, and they came to that area there. And then after they left that place, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, see if you can find the owner of this house, or this place, this area, and see who owns it. We can purchase a plot of land here, we can do something. So the disciples went and they found the owner of the house, and they told him that our Guru Maharaj wants some land here to start a little project, and so you can, this plot here, which Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur pointed out. So the man said, I got, nice land, I got flat, this is all jungly, you've got to clear everything, and if you want to grow anything, if you want to live here, I got nice land already cleared, you don't worry about that. He said, no, we want this piece of land. He said, you can, surely you can take it, but if you want, I can give you much better land. So then they went to see the land, and then they found some old columns there, stone columns, which are still there. And these are coming from Satyajuga. It was the remnants of his palace. He had a beautiful palace, stone palace. And while the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta were there, they saw a king cobra. And it had a jewel on his head, red jewel. If a snake retains his poison venom whole life, it becomes like a nice Naistika brahmachari. If he maintains that, he doesn't lose his poison by biting anyone in it, then he gets a jewel there. They get a very valuable jewel. And then he was like he was there on the columns guarding. And then they went back and told their Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, and he said that he said, I thought so. This is the remnants of King Shavaneshan's palace. And that is confirmation also that the King Cobra is there. So then they took the land and then they developed a little temple there.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Here, in the island, the beautiful island of Godrumadvipa, we've come to the most sacred place of Harihara ksetra. This temple is extraordinary. We'll see here the combined deity of Mahadev, Lord Shiva, and Sri Krishna, along with their consorts, Sri Parvati and Sri Mahalakshmi. It is said by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that anyone who leaves their body in this most sacred place of Harihara ksetra, Mahadev, Lord Shiva, Gangadhar, he personally comes and whispers into the ear of that person, Gauranga, 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 at the time of their passing away. In this way, in this most special place, Harihara ksetra, one can attain the full mercy of the Lord and his great devotee, Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Manifest. It wasn't there when Nityananda Prabhu was there. Because he mentions in the Navadvipa Mandala that in the future, a beautiful deity, will be found amongst his in a beautiful forest. So you go at Harihara ksetra, you can see this. It's very scenic. There's sloping hills and grass and little forests. So it was predicted that yes, a beautiful deity will become there amidst this lovely forest. So that deity was established by King Krishna Chandra Roy, King Raja. He established this deity, which is half Krishna, half Shiva, to settle the controversial point that Shiva is greater than or equal to Krishna. So to settle this point, in Krishna Chandra Raj, he established his deity of half Krishna, half Vishnu. Hara, he's white color, and the right side is black color. Is that right? Yeah. So Harihara, he made half white, half black Krishna, and Shiva. So he specific, because people say it's half Vishnu, half Shiva, but according to the Narad Purana, it says that he was born from the Lord of the cowherd lasses was born from the right side of Krishna. So who's the Lord of the cowherd lasses? That's Krishna. He plays with the cows and looks up. So actually, we see the deity as Krishna and Shiva. That deity was stolen. It's what they call kushti, stone. When they check gold, they make gold. They have a gold testing stone. It's that. So it's a semi-precious stone. So somebody stole that deity, and after a few days, the boys were playing and they saw one fox. This was the middle of the daytime. Foxes usually don't come out in the daytime. And also he was acting very strangely. He was moving and rolling so the boys, being boys, they started to chase him. So he ran into another forest. They followed him, then he ran into another forest. And like they were following him, then he went into one forest. And they couldn't find him anymore, and they were looking around, and then they saw Harihara, deity was there, hidden in the bushes. So then he was rescued. Right. So when the deity was recovered, and then he went to the police station in Krishnanagar town, because he was stolen property. So he's under police custody. So we went to see him one time, and we got some misty day and some rasgullas and different types of sweets. Make an offering for Lord Shiva. He wasn't in the lockup. This Harihara deity. He was in the office where you go into the police station first, the office, and just to one side, Harihara was there, and he had a tag, a tag around his arm, stolen property tag. And we asked the police, can we take him back? He said, "Hey, we want you to take him back. We feel bad that he's sitting here in the Tanna, in the jail. We want you to take him back."
The Shuka and Shari chanting the name of Gaur, this also happened at Harihara Kshetra. What was that incident?
I heard one parrot or two parrots, Shuka Shari, and they were chanting Gaura, 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 or Gauranga. Anyway, Gaura, Gaura, Gaura. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that parrot, and he was holding the parrot, and he said, chant Hare Krishna's name. Why are you chanting Gaura's name? The parrot said, Gaura, Gaura, Gaura. He said, why don't you chant Krishna's names? You're advised to chant Krishna's names. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He said, Gaura, 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 Gaura. He said, you parrot, you're useless. And he threw him in the sky. And then the parrot said, you can chant Radha and Krishna. As far as we're concerned, we're going to chant Gaura, 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 Gaura. Jai ki jai.
When Sachinandan, Sri Gaudhari, was performing his manifest pastimes here in Godrumadvipa, he was one time with the devotees here taking prasadam beside a lake, and one local came and said that our cows do not drink the water from this lake because there's a crocodile in the lake. So hearing this, Satchidananda began kirtan with the devotees, and that crocodile, hearing the kirtan, came out of the water and came in and paid obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Satchidananda. And at that time he resumed his form as Deva Shishu, a child of a demigod. And he explained that one time the great Rishi Durvasha Muni was in Kamyavan and he was performing penance and austerity. And one Deva Shishu, one child of the demigods, came in wanting to play a joke. He cut the locks, the hair of Durvasha Muni. And when realizing what had happened, Durvasha Muni, he's the partial manifestation of Mahadev, he was angry. And he cursed that Deva Shishu to become a crocodile and remain as such for 4 yugas. So Deva Shishu, that child of the demigod, was extremely traumatized and begged Durvasha Muni for some consideration, compensation. And so Durvasha Muni said, okay, when Nandanandan appears in Navadvipa Dham, in the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, at that time, hearing his sweet kirtan, you will be purified of this curse and you will regain your residence as a Deva Shishu in the heavenly planets. And in this way, Satchidananda, during his leelas here in Godrumadvipa, he fulfilled the words of Durvasha Muni, and the Deva Shishu regained his position in Svargaloka. Shri Gaura Modul Lila, Jar Karne Probeshila, those whose ears the sweet pastimes of Satchidananda enter into, Ridoy Nirmal Bhelotar, their heart is completely purified. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Mahaprabhu, he takes the devotees and crosses the Jalangi and performs cowherd boy pastimes in Godrumadvipa. What are some of the pastimes he performs?
Yeah, this is Go Leela. When Mahaprabhu has finished his morning ablutions, taken, they have Bhagavatam class. The devotees come to see Mahaprabhu. They have Bhagavatam class after taking bath in the Ganga. And then they have breakfast. And then a short rest for 15 minutes or so. Then Mahaprabhu goes from Jagannath Mishra's house. He goes with the devotees during Kirtan. And they set off from the house of Mahaprabhu down to Gangadas's Tal, the school of Gangadas. And there's open fields there. And Mahaprabhu, he sees all these white cows everywhere. And they're all mooing. And the peacocks, Mayo, Mayo, Mayo. And Mahaprabhu gets in the mood of Krishna because this corresponds with, the timing corresponds with Krishna when Krishna leaves Nanda Baba's house and goes out with the boys and cows. So the same time corresponds in Navadvipa Leela. Like Gauranga and he sees all these, reminding him of Vrindavan, and he picks up stick, got a stick. Oh, I don't know, there's cowboys, they can twiddle it on their fingers like that, and going round and round, and they toss it up like that. So Mahaprabhu, he picks up and he starts, hi, 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 he sees all the cows. Let's go to Vrindavan, Vrindavan Jabo, Vrindavan, Shamalai, Dubale, Gangai, Jamunai, come. Let's go to Govardhan. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is imitating a buffalo horn, Let's go to Govardhan, hi, hi. So then they come here, actually right here where we are now. they come this side. This is blessed. The eternal pastimes, still they come this way in the Nitya Leela. From there, the Jalangi is just there, so that's where all the cowboys live. So Mahaprabhu goes and sees all these boys, cowboys from Godrumadvipa, herding their cows. And they carry Mahaprabhu. We'll carry you on our shoulders. You're not a Brahmana. You're one of us. You're a Vaishya. It doesn't suit you, this Brahmana dress you've got. You're one of us. You're a Vaishya. So anyway, we can come to my house. We got my mother's made all nice things for you, and yogurt, kheer, sandesh, so many milk products. So you can come. So Mahaprabhu spends some time playing with the boys and the cows there. Then after that he heads on home. They say, you must come back tomorrow. You must come back tomorrow and play with us again. And we can make so many nice more preparations. We'll tell our mothers to make so many milk preparations. And so then Mahaprabhu leaves and he goes back to his home. Sometimes, if he has time, he takes bath in the Ganga.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. In the course of the Navadvipa Mandala Parikrama, we are all now at this beautiful place in Godrumadvipa, which is one of the 9 islands of Navadvipa. And this place where we are at now is called Amghat. Amra refers to a mango. And there is a wonderful pastime enacted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that happened at this spot. And this has been narrated by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the 17th chapter of the Adi Leela, from text 80 onwards.
We have come to the sacred place of Amghat in Godrumadvipa. This is the mango garden, Amghat. One day when Sachinandan Sri Gaudhari and his associates were performing Kirtan, someone gave Mahaprabhu a mango, which he ate, and then he planted the mango seed. And then amazingly, on the spot, a mango tree began growing. And all the devotees were astounded to see. And then that mango tree produced fruits. They were beautiful, reddish and yellowish, huge mangoes. And Sachinandan, he picked about 200 fruits from that tree and then washed them and then offered them to Lord Krishna. And then, having honored a mango himself, he fed all of the devotees. Those mangoes were so sweet and so full of juice that eating one mango, a person's belly would be full and one would be fully satisfied. And that mango tree, it gave mangoes all year round, 12 months of the year. And the devotees, after performing Kirtan with Sachinandan, would come here, take mangoes and rest. Ordinarily, those mangoes, they had no skin and no seed. And eating one mango would fully satisfy a man's hunger. Sva Ananda Shukada Kunja.
Hare Krishna,
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had his residence in Godrumadvipa. Could you share with us some of the pastimes of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Godrumadvipa?
Sure.
So Bhaktivinoda Thakur had his residence there. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
His residence in Godrumadvipa, because we know Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a magistrate, and for a long time he was trying to retire. They wouldn't let him retire, so he wanted a location in Navadvipa, if possible, wherever, as close as possible. Eventually he got one in Krishnanagar, so he was quite happy because he was very close to Navadvipa. So he had one house there, where his bhajan kutir was, Shvarananda Shukhada Kunja, indicating that my Shvarananda, my place of blissful worship or meditation. But he remains here. He said, I gaze across the Jalangi to Ishodana, this whole area, like from Ganga to Jalangi, some people say up to Pampakor, or even further, even Belpakor. This is called Ishodana. This is a very special place in Mayapur. Of all the Dham, this is special. It's called Ishodana, means like a garden place. And in this garden area, all the pastimes of Radha and Krishna are going on. Rasli, or is this a little bit over? All the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna go on in this area. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I sit in my bhajan kutir and gaze across the Jalangi to Ishodan. And it's my place, from his bhajan, place of worship. Shvarananda Shukhada Kunj, that's where he meditates. It's his place of worship. And he meditates on, when the Shakis, they will meditate on, what pastime we'll have tonight. There's always, Krishna's pastimes, the variety is there, this always has to change. So, they're meditating on how we can expand Radha Madhava's pleasure, how we can make new festivals, how we can expand it. So this is what the gopis are thinking, like when they're in their bhajan kutirs, how to increase the pleasure of Radha Madhava, some new things. So, or they have maybe some idea, we will have a concert, musical concert tonight. So then they call Brinda Devi like that, she's in charge of all the go-downs there. So they go to the musical go-downs and they bring out all these instruments that we've never even seen before. And then they'll have a concert somewhere, or different pastimes like that. What will they will do to always increase the pleasure of Radha Madhava. So that's what they do when they're meditating in their kunjas. So the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was revealing so much. He said that after every chapter in the Navadvipa Mahatmya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I'm writing this under the orders of my Guru Janavi and Nitai. After every chapter he's glorifying Janavi. He says, they're my Gurus, they've ordered me to do this. And they were 500 years. Janavi and Nitai were 500 years before Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So that we understand that they're eternal Guru of Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur personally worshipped these deities of Gaur Gadadhar. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was worshipping the deities of Gaur Gadadhar. Could you explain a little bit of the significance of his worship of Gaur Gadadhar?
Yeah, generally the worship of Gaur Gadadhar is the worship of Radha Krishna. So devotees of Radha and Krishna, they can also worship Gaura in the same, as it's in the same mood. Lalit Prasad Thakur is the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He used to live there next to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, next door. And we asked him one time about he was the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, yeah? About Gaura. He said it's intimate because it's Radha and Krishna worship. He said, but the difference is between Gaura and Gaura is that Gaura is like, no, Gaura, they are like 15 annas. 15 annas, they don't use it, they had that currency, they don't have it now. 15 annas, 16 annas in a rupee. So he said worship of Nityananda and Gauranga, Gaura is like 15 annas, and worship of Gaura is like 16 annas. It's a little bit more.
Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, the Dikha Guru of Srila Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, would regularly come here to Swananda Shukada Kunj, the home of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam with him. Here is the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Hare Krishna. What was the relationship between Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur?
Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj accepted Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his guru. And he told Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that you should take initiation from him. Gaurkishore spent about 30 years in Vrindavan as a Babaji. Then when he heard that the birthplace had been discovered of Mahaprabhu, he came and served in Mayapur. And when he arrived, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, my guru, Bhaktivinoda Thakur pointed out my guru. He is your guru. He said you should take initiation from him. Don't come back home until you get initiation. So though Bhaktisiddhanta approached Gaurkishore for a couple of times for initiation, but Gaurkishore would always, somehow or another, put him off, because and he said that Gaurkishore said, Babaji Maharaj said, you're a great scholar, you're a strict moralist. He was a Naistaka brahmachari. Strict moralist. No one could defeat him in his knowledge. And I'm illiterate. I can't even write my own name, Gaurkishore Das Babaji. So it's like an incompatible relationship. So he said, don't deceive me. Somehow or another I'll get initiation from you. I think he mentioned Ramanuja or Madhava. He approached his guru about 21 times. He said, so I'm not going to let you go, I will ask you. And so Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, okay, I will ask my Prabhu, meaning Mahaprabhu. If he gives the order, then I will give you initiation. So Bhaktisiddhanta was very ecstatic and enthusiastic. Next day we were running to see Gaurkishore. He said, what did he say? What did he say? Gaurkishore said, oh, I forgot to ask him. Forgot to ask him. So Bhaktisiddhanta became very emotional, and he stood up and he said, you and your Prabhu, you and Mahaprabhu, your worshippers of that great debauchee Krishna, everybody knows it, he's a debauchee. And I'm a strict moralist, a Brahmaistika brahmachari. What have you got to do with me? What have I got to do with you? But if you do not give me initiation, then Corona na hoili kandiya kandiya na pranara kiboa. If you do not initiate me, I cannot maintain my life. He wanted to commit suicide. So Gokisha was very much moved. Okay, take a bath in Jalangi and come back, I will give you initiation. So he took initiation from Gokisha Das Babaji Maharaj. So Gokisha would often come and see Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it's such a holy place. Gokisha, also Jagannath Das Babaji would come and stay there sometimes with Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Bhaktivinoda, Gokisha, Bhaktisiddhanta, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they all wandered around in that area there. We cannot imagine.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Shraddhavani jana hai, Shraddhavani jana hai,
Shraddhavan jana hai, Shraddhavan jana hai,
Patiyache Nam Hatta Jiviru Karan.
Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Prabhura Yagai Bhai Magi Ei Bhiksha, Prabhura Yagai Bhai
Magi Ei Bhiksha,
Bala Krishna Bhajo Krishna Karo Krishna Shiksha, Bala
Krishna
Krishna
Gaura Krishna Gaura Krishna Shita.
Aparada Shunna Hoye Laha Krishna Nam,
Aparada Shunna Hoye Laha Krishna Nam,
Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dhana Pran,
Krishna Mata Krishna Prita Krishna Dana Pran.
Hare Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Krishnera Sansar Karo Chari Anachar,
Krishnara Sansar Kori Chara Anuchar,
Jividaya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sar,
Jivadaya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sar.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Namahatta Jiviru Karan.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya
Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Gauranitai,
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod,
Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod
Thakur Bhakti Vinod. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura
Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, we're fortunate to have with us Bhaktivedanta Abhadut Maharaj. He's Goswami of the temple here at Surabhi Kunj. What is it? Surabhi Kunj? What's it called? Surabhi Kunj? Surabhi Kunj something?
Surabhi cow?
No, Surabhi Kunj Gaudiya Math, or what is it?
Gaudiya Math.
Surabhi Kunj Gaudiya Math, yeah. Thakur Bhakti Vinod, before he completed his residence here in Godrumadvipa, he resided at this place. Had the home here, he resided here for almost 6 years and performed bhajan. Thakur Bhakti Vinod, he wrote the Jaiva Dharma here. He also wrote his commentary on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and also sung some Sharanargati. Ek din grihe bhajana dekhe, grihete goloka bai. Charana shidhu dekhiya ganga shukanashing hapai. In this way, Thakur Bhakti Vinod resided in Godrumadvipa, performing his bhajan as a grihasta on the bank of Maganga. And in this way, he Shuka Nashing Hapai, he experienced unlimited spiritual happiness. In this way, he set an example of Krishna consciousness in the Grihasta ashram for all the devotees to follow. Hare Krishna. The great sage Markandeya Rishi had received a boon from Lord Shiva to live for 7 kalpas. And during the annihilation, he was traumatized, seeing the whole universe inundated in the waters of devastation. At that time, he came here and to Godrumadvipa, seeing that Navadvipa Dham was untouched by the pralaya. And at that time, he saw Surabhi, Ma Surabhi. Actually, Godrumadvipa is, the name comes from Go, meaning cow, and Drum, meaning tree. So here, in Godrumadvipa, Surabhi is eternally residing under a beautiful banyan tree. And taking darshan of Surabhi, she instructed Markandeya Rishi to remain here in Godrumadvipa, Navadvipa Dham, and perform Gauranga Bhajan, free from desires for mukti and bhukti, for liberation and sense enjoyment. And by this bhajan of Gauranga, very quickly Krishna Prema will awaken in one's heart. And in this way, Markandeya Rishi achieved the perfection of life here in Godrumadvipa. Could you share with us the pastimes of Surabhi at Surabhi Kunj?
Surabhi Kunj is a desire-fulfilling cow. Can fulfill all desires. She came with the Indra to Navadvipa, because Indra was a little bit scared still after he tried to devastate the Vrindavan with the rainfall. He didn't really know Krishna's mood. Krishna was kind of grave and he didn't reveal his mood, that he was his anger or anything like that. He tried to destroy Vrindavan. So Indra was always wondering how I can feel I've made a how can I rectify things, and how will I be forgiven by Krishna. So he said, let's go to, I'll go and see Surabhi. Anyway, Surabhi and Indra, they came to Godrumadvipa. They had darshan of Mahaprabhu. Anyway, Mahaprabhu forgave him for his offences. And then he said, let's go back. But Surabhi said, no, I want to stay here at Surabhi Kunj. So Indra went back to his abode. And Surabhi stayed there at Surabhi Kunj. This is the place where Nityananda Prabhu had opened his Namahatta. So Nityananda Prabhu opened the Namahatta. This is the, now we see it's coming through all over the world. People are taking Gauranga's message, they're chanting Hare Krishna. There's no other hope for the living entities of Kali Yuga accept the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. And they opened a hatha.
What is the meaning of Namahatta?
Namahatta. Nam is the holy name of Krishna. Hat means marketplace, so that marketplace that distributes the holy name. And
It's not bazaar, it's Namahatta. What's the difference between a bazaar and a hatta?
Bhaja. And, well, this hatha is not ordinary hatha, because according to your faith, that is the cash, what do you say?
Yeah. Yeah. Funding.
Yeah. So, according to your faith, that much you can buy. Faith in the holy name. But the thing is, you give all your money, as much as you want, and you can get that much, buy that much faith. But then you can again, you get your money back again. Isn't it like? Doesn't it work like that? You get your money back somehow or another. You get your money back.
That's the hatha system.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Srila Vinod Thakur describes in his Navadvipa Dham Mahatmya that after visiting Suvarna Vihar, the residence of King Suvarna Sen, and who became Buddhimanta Khan in Gaura Lila, after visiting that place, Nityananda Prabhu and Jiva Goswami came here to Deva Pally, and they were hosted by the demigods, and they took their prasadam here. And then after a little rest, Nityananda Prabhu took Jiva Goswami on a tour of this area, and he revealed to him this ancient Narasimha temple. This deity of Lord Narasimha Dev is from Satyuga Yuga, been worshipped here for millenniums. And Nityananda Prabhu described that after Lord Narasimha Dev, for the protection of Prahlad Maharaj, vanquished Hiranyakashipu, he came here to this place and rested for some time. Seeing that, all of the demigods came, and in the area around here they built residences. We can still find different stones and columns here and there in the area that are from the buildings that were made by the demigods. From that time, this place has been known as Nrsimha Ksetra of Navadvipa Dham.
Narasimha Pally
Hare Krishna. I want to thank the Mayapur devotees for inviting me to speak on the Singapali. This is one of my favorite Parikrama locations, and I believe almost every devotee who goes on Navadvipa Parikrama has a strong desire to go to Singapali. You all know the story of Lord Narasimha and Prahlad Maharaj. This is very nicely explained in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hiranyakashipu is identified as a demon, but actually he was a great devotee of the Lord. Hiranyakashipu had a strong desire to become deathless. So he was performing extreme austerities. The Lord Brahma came and said, "Why are you performing these austerities?" "I want to become deathless." Lord Brahma said, "I can't give you that benediction. Even I have to surrender to death." So Hiranyakashipu extracted many promises. "I won't die in the morning or the evening or the night, neither in the sky or the land or the water, neither by human beings or animals, etc." And this made him believe that now he has become deathless. But no, who could be smarter than the Lord? So after extracting various promises, Hiranyakashipu was very confident. Now he has achieved almost the same goal. Hiranyakashipu's son Prahlad is our spiritual hero. Just like in material life people have heroes, in spiritual life we also have heroes. And one of our heroes is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had the great fortune of receiving spiritual knowledge when he was in the womb of his mother. The demigods were dragging Prahlad's mother, hoping to kill the child when he would be born. Then Narada Muni came there and said, "You will not be able to hurt the child because he is going to be a great devotee." So on Narada Muni's assurance, the demigods let Prahlad's mother take shelter in Narada Muni's ashram, where she heard the Bhagavad philosophy. So Prahlad was self-realized from birth. And his father Hiranyakashipu could not stand his son's attachment to the Supreme. Hiranyakashipu tortured Prahlad in many ways. He came to Prahlad and said, "Where are you getting all this strength from? Where is your God?" "My God's everywhere." "Really? Is he on the ceiling? Is he against, he touched the wall with his sword? Is he here? Is he inside that pillar?" And Prahlad said, "He's everywhere, including the pillar." So Hiranyakashipu thought, "Now I have a good opportunity for trapping him." He took his sword out and he hit the pillar very strongly. And out of the pillar came what? Lord Narasimha, a form that he had never seen before. Half man, half lion. And when Hiranyakashipu saw this abnormal form, he concluded this must be God, this must be Vishnu. And there was a fight between the Lord and Hiranyakashipu. At times it appeared as if Hiranyakashipu was going to win. But eventually the Lord won. And the Lord was so angry because of Hiranyakashipu's desire to kill Prahlad. He was very, very angry. No one, including the demigoddess Lakshmi, dared to go near him. But Prahlad went and garlanded the Lord with a garland, and then his anger disappeared. So Narasimha Pally is a very famous location. Lord Narasimhadev, after killing Hiranyakashipu, came to this place. This was in Satyuga. And the demigods, they all followed. And Vishwakarma is the architect who designs the houses of the demigods. So Vishwakarma also came and he designed the houses of all the demigods. So this place is also known as Devapalli because this had the residence of all the demigods. And all the demigods stayed here, and then he took rest over here. When he took rest, the demigods came and built their palaces. Narasimha Pally is historical. Now someone may say, what type of God do they worship? Half man, half lion? They're crazy. You once had a case going on in America where the prosecution said, my Lord, this is their God, half man, half lion. And actually the crazy jury said, oh, this is not possible. God can appear in any form. He's a Chintya, a Chuta. And the Vaishnava's belief is God is inconceivable. He can appear in any form. The Lord is so smart. He gave all the benedictions that Hiranyakashipu wanted. Keeping all of them intact, he still killed Hiranyakashipu. Prabhupada was giving a lecture in Los Angeles on Lord Narasimha's birthday. And Prabhupada said, after killing Hiranyakashipu, the Lord told Brahma, don't give such benedictions in future. You made my job very difficult. So actually, nothing is difficult for the Lord. So the devotees take shelter on Lord Narasimhadev. They come to Lord Narasimhadev for shelter, and Lord Narasimhadev is always ready to protect his devotees. So we are here at a very auspicious location. Here we can pray to the Lord that our anathas may go away and may become staunch devotees of the Lord like Prahlad Maharaj. And we sincerely endeavor Krishna will reciprocate. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Just like when we go to Nrsimhapally, Lord Nrsimhadev, he says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a darshan. He says, stay here, my child, on this Navadvipa and chant Hare Krishna, holy names of Krishna, and serve the Lord. And very soon, by the mercy of my devotees, you will achieve your perfection. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's mood as he's going around from Dham to Dham. He's always begging blessings from the devotees who live there and the personalities who are there. That's his mood from one night, and he begs all the inhabitants of this Dham. But then he meets Lord Nrsimhadev, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's Krishna himself. He can give blessings, everything. But he said, by the mercy of my devotees, you will achieve your desire. So then eventually, last time, then Bhaktivinoda arrives here in Rodudvipa, and there he sees there's a Shiva Lingam And there is one Dasi is sitting there, and she's crying, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur waits till he gets her attention. And he says, Mother, why you are crying? So she said, listen to my woe. I have sisters, Salimpa, Sarupa, Shro, and these are 6 types of liberation. And I am being given Sayuja, impersonal realization. Well, my sisters, they've all gone off, they've become Gauranga Bhaktas. Many, Maitreya and other great souls were giving me attention, but now they've also left me. They come to look for Gauranga. So my name is Sayuja. I am impersonal. So what is to be my fate? I'll find a place, I'll give up my life there. That place will be named Nirdoy. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, just by hearing this name, Sayuja, I am trembling and shivering in fright. But then someone comes and he's dancing and chanting, Gauranga, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. He touches the body of Bhaktivinoda. Wakes up and it's Lord Shiva. Jai Sachinandan, boom, 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 Jai Sachinandan. Give your mercy to all living entities, give your mercy. Dancing and chanting like a madman. And he sees Bhaktivinoda Thakur. By my blessings, Maya will retreat. Everybody is bound up by Maya. Who is the controller of Maya? Her husband. He's the only one who can tell her what to do.
Jananivas Prabhu, we thank you deeply for accompanying us to Godrumadvipa today, and we kindly request you to shower your blessings on our Parikrama participants so that they can complete their Navadvipa Dham Pradarshaks and get the full blessings of the Holy Dham Mahaprabhu and Dham Vasis.
May Panchatattva bless you that you can be relishing their Dham and also with the idea of expanding and giving to others. I pray that it will be a very successful project. We'll be able to influence so many devotees who don't have the opportunity to come and see the Dham or hear the Dham Katha. So may they bless you, it may be successful. You preach the message of Navadvipa Dham. This will be good for you and good for others. Prabhupada's instruction from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the last instruction is preach Krishna consciousness. This will be good for you and good for others. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Navadvipa Dham ki jai. Hare Krishna.
व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीत चौरं व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीत चौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चतुकुलचौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चतुकुलचौरं अनेक जन्मार्जित पाप चौरम अनेक जन्मार्जित पाप चौरम चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि श्रीराधिकाया हृदयस्य चौरं श्रीराधिकाया हृदयस्य चौरं नवाम्बुद श्यामलकान्तिचौरं नवाम्बुद श्यामलकान्तिचौरं पदाश्रितानां च समस्तचौरं पदाश्रितानां च समस्तचौरं चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि अकिञ्चनी कृत्य पदाश्रितं यः अकिञ्चनी कृत्य पदाश्रितं यः करोति भिक्षुं पतिगेहहीनं करोति भिक्षुं पतिगेहहीनं केनाप्यहो भीषणचौरैर्दृक् केनाप्यहो भीषणचौरैर्दृक् दृष्टश्रुतो वा न जगत्त्रयेऽपि दृष्टश्रुतो वा न जगत्त्रये